Sir, he did not attend my call.
Fine. So the authority, we know what is authority: the power, the right. Okay. Authority refers to right of an individual to command his subordinate. Okay, the power, without that, it is not possible for us to command. What is command? Ordering them. So without power, if we command, they will laugh at us. So the very first thing is we must have the right to command our subordinate. That is our that is called authority. And what is responsibility? The duties. Okay, so our duties and responsibilities, whatever the thing assigned by the management, we need to stick on to that. So that is what responsibility. Then accountability is what answerability. When we fail to do, when there is any error, so we need to be the answerable person as a what team in charge. So what is delegation? So delegation is what? Transfer of authority and responsibility from superior to subordinate. So here authority, it is delegated. Okay, it can be delegated. So superior can delegate to the subordinate. A teacher can delegate authority to the student. And responsibility, it cannot be entirely delegated. Okay, so my responsible also there, and the class leaders responsible also there. For example, suppose in absence of leader, in absence of a HR manager, the assistant manager can command the work. Okay, so that he will be having authority, but responsibility, it is both the delegator and the delegatee both must have the responsibility. So it will not be entirely transferred to the delegatee. Then accountability, it can never be delegated. So accountability, even I have given authority to you. For example, in my absence, you suppose if I make Abhishek as a leader, so I can give him authority, but I can he will not be the accountable person. I will be the accountable person. So the classroom, if there is too much of noise from our classroom, I am the accountable person. I am the answerable to that issues. So accountability, it is not possible to delegate. Origin. So it arises due to formal position in the organization. Okay, the in organization structure, that is the hierarchy, like chairman, board of directors, managers, like that. We will be following a hierarchy. So based upon that organization structure, we will assign the authority, the positions. Okay. So responsibility, it arises from delegated authority. Okay. So the who will give us authority? The top level people. Our superior will give us the authority. Okay, that is the origin. And here responsibility, it arises from delegated authority. So once we have authority and we must have the responsibility. Then second, accountability, it arises from responsibility. When we are responsible, so when we are doing our duties perfectly, no issues. So if there is any error, and both the manager is the accountable person, but your part, while discussing accountability, yeah, I have stated one word. What is that? Even if a manager, he might be in absence, he will delegate the authority and responsibility to the subordinate, but the accountability will be there with the manager. Suppose the subordinate, he or she is not performing their task, so what the manager can do, he can cancel that delegation, and he can choose another person, and he can able to delegate. So that's what the statement says. So if there is a responsibility arises from, sorry, the origin of accountability arises from responsibility. Flow. So in authority, superior will give us the only superior can delegate the power to us. The transfer of authority and responsibility from top level to lower level. Okay, so that means superior to subordinate. The flow of authority is top to bottom. Okay, that is downwards. Whereas responsibility, so once we are the we got the transfer of authority, so we need to work effectively. That shows we need to maintain our responsibility to our superior. So there is upward, so there is lower to upward flow of flow. Again, accountability, it flows as upward, as a subordinate is accountable to superior. Okay, so again, only here in authority the top level people find the one of his subordinates, not all the subordinate who is doing their task effectively. So the flow will be top to bottom, that means downward. So once after he got the authority, the subordinate must work effectively. He needs to do his duties, responsibilities effectively. So that shows upward flow, that is lower level to upper level. Again, next, in accountability, the flow again will be from lower level to upper level. Why? Because even after since the superior assigned the responsibility, he is the person accountable to the superior. So again, it is upward flow. Have you all got my point? What is the difference between the comparison between authority, responsibility, and accountability? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Shall we go for next?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes,
importance
sir.
of authority. So, what are all the importance? We'll discuss one by one. Effective management. So, through delegation, managers are able to function more effectively as they get more time to concentrate on important matter. Delegation gives them the freedom from doing routine work and provide them with opportunity to excel in the new areas. Okay, suppose if a manager, okay, production manager, if he is having too much of burden or else too much of workload, he might be busy with some other projects. So during this situation, the HR manager can delegate his what roles, some of certain roles to the subordinate. Okay, so here through that the superior will be somewhat he'll be getting relieved from that particular task. So instead of that superior, subordinate will continue the work in the name of superior. So here the superior will have some time. Instead of doing the regular work, everyday's work, he can use the time productively by thinking some innovative ideas and concepts when he is having some leisure time. Can you able to understand the first point? When a superior is having too much of burden or else workload, he can able to delegate the authority to his subordinates. That means the superior's work and task will be done by subordinates. அப்போ superiorக்கு என்னவாகும், கொஞ்சம் ஃப்ரீ டைம் கிடைக்கும், will be little free, அதான் வந்து leisure time சொல்லுவோம், free time. So what he will do, routine work பண்ண வேண்டிய இடத்துல he will just do something innovatively, new concepts, new ideas. That is effective management. Next one is employee development. Due to delegation, employees get more opportunities to utilize their talent and skills and improve their career prospects. Okay, so once employee, okay, he is working in an organization, he must get the chance to develop his career. So for example, during the absence of a manager, if an employee can able to function a task effectively, So it shows that that gives an employee, okay, to learn. If we are the manager, what are all the skills required to be a become a manager. So he can able to learn in absence of his superior, and he can able to get more knowledge, skills, talents. So what are all the activities done by managers, and how we need to perform. So delegation allows them to develop those skills which will enable them to perform complex tasks and assume that responsibilities which will improve their career prospects. It makes them better leader and decision maker. Thus, delegation develops future managers. Delegation empower the employees by giving them chance to use their skills, gain experience, and develop themselves on the higher positions. Okay. So one small example, let me discuss. During the time of DMK period, okay, Dr. Kalainar Karunanidhi was the CM, and due to some inability, he was too old to handle all the situations. And what he have decided, so he delegated some responsibility and authority to his son, so who is today's CM. Okay. So MK Stalin and Dr. Karunanidhi assigned similar authority responsibility. So in presence of that, his father, he learned how to handle the situation, being as a deputy CM or as a deputy CM. So he learned a lot that helped to him to become a good leader in Tamil Nadu. So like that, in case of in absence of a manager, the subordinate will work, and we can able to gain the skills, knowledge, and capabilities to do the task effectively as like as manager. So we can able to handle the situation even without the manager. So that is called as employee development. Got my point? Are you all there? Are you listening me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next, motivation of employees. So, what is motivation? For example, when during my absence, suppose if I call Kavishri, okay, you will be the leader. You just monitor the class. What will that will do? That will motivate Kavishri. Not only Kavishri, other students too. So when we are studying effectively, when we are good at our work, definitely we will get a chance as a to become a leader. Okay, so like that, all the employees will be highly motivated because when we are delegating some authority and responsibility to them, they know. Okay, there are two type of motivation. So what is motivation? It is also called as appreciating a person. So there are two types we will be discussing in future. Anyhow, I'll give you a short what summary: monetary and non-monetary. Monetary in the sense, okay. So rewarding them as a cash, motivating an employee by giving cash. Okay, that we will call it as monetary reward, or else like this. So by delegating authority and responsibility, this is what non-monetary motivation. Okay, non-monetary incentives. So the people, those who are doing better work, they will be what they will be given what the leadership. They will be given a chance to control the team. So delegation motivates the subordinate to work with greater responsibility and help in developing their talent. Delegation also psychological benefits. It shows the trust and confidence of superior on a subordinate. Okay. So what is the trust and confidence? The superior will not ask everyone to become a leader, or else in case of his absence, he will not ask everyone to be the what to act as a leader. So he will find the person who is very loyal to him, who is most respectable person, who is a most skillful person. the only him the leader will select. So in that case, that shows a confidence of a superior towards subordinates. So responsibility for work builds the self-esteem of the employee and improves his confidence. What do you mean by self-esteem? It's a self-respect. Okay. So self-respect is called as self-esteem. So there are 50 or 60 of employees will be there in organization. Among that 60 members, suppose if I call Vishwa Ramakeshwaran, okay. So Vishwa, you are since by observing your dedication and loyalty, so you will be the leader. In case of my absence, you can control the team. You have to take in charge of my team, like that. The superior delegating the authority to Vishwa. So automatically Vishwa can now. So it makes a self-esteem. Self-esteem and a pride. Oh, I am doing great things. That's why uh, the SAR is making me as a team leader. So the pride, which is to be called as self-esteem. Okay, he feels encouraged and tries to improve his performance better further. Okay, so when we are giving a delegation, the employee will feel, oh, we are doing the best and we are giving our best to the organization. That's why they are selecting us. So again, the employee will work hard to do the better performance. Got my point? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Girls, boys, are you all there?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Can you able to understand the concept what I'm teaching to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, facilitation of growth. Delegation act as a good training ground and help in the expansion of an organization by providing ready workforce to take up leading positions. Okay. In new venture, trained and experienced employee are able to play significant role. Have you all got this point? For example, the delegation also facilitation of growth. So what is growth? Suppose, for example, Miss Indu, okay, she is the senior sales executive in a Purviga Mobiles or Chennai Mobiles. So during the absence of the manager, she will do all the activities. Why? Because the manager delegated authority to Indu. Okay. So the Purviga decided now we will plan to open a new branch in Kandambale. So if they have opened the new branch, a very big service center in Kandambale. So instead of recruiting a new employee for that, immediately what they will do, they will make Indu as a showroom manager in Kandambale. Okay. So in Tiruchengodu, previously, Miss Indu, she worked as a senior sales executive, and the manager, during the absence of manager will delegate the authority to Indu. So in that process, Indu equip herself. She will be working hard, smart, and she will be having a lot of skills and talents. What are all the things required to become a manager? She will acquire all the skills. So automatically, what will happen is instead of recruiting new manager in the Kandambalem branch, the existing chairman or existing management will decide, okay, instead of that, we will make Hindu as a manager in Kandambalem branch or showroom. So like that, it facilitates growth not only for the employees, it is also for the organization. Why? Because if we are appointing a new person, it will take some time for him to adapt to our working culture and organizational environment. So if it is already Hindu, already she know very well about the organization, so she can able to handle the situation very effectively. The next one is basis of management hierarchy. So what is hierarchy? The positions, right? like chairman, board of directors, general managers, assistant managers, supervisors, foreman. So this is what hierarchy we will call it as. Also, we will call it as organizational structure. So delegation establishes superior subordinate relationship, which is the basis of hierarchy of management. It is the degree and flow of authority which determine who has to report to whom. The extent of delegation or delegated authority also decides the power that each job position enjoys in the organization. Okay, so basis in the sense what only through delegation it is possible for us to frame a organization structure. So how we will frame organization structure? As I said, chairman, and next to chairman, CEO, board of directors, then manager, assistant manager, supervisors, then finally foreman. So actually, the delegation will start from top to bottom. Only superior will select the subordinate. So it will helpful for us to create an organization structure, and through that organizational structure, it is possible for us to find who is report to whom. For example, assistant finance manager has to report to the finance manager, and finance manager has to report to the general manager. So like that they will create a what a formal communication structure. So delegation plays a major role in creating a organizational structure. At last is better coordination. So what is coordination? Anyone? Are you all there, guys?
Particular goal.
Particular goal, like
Group work.
so what is delegation? Group, okay, 2 or 3 people together. So here what is coordination we'll discuss. So 3 elements of delegation, there is authority, responsibility, and accountability. Helps to define power, duties, and answerability related to various job positions. So it provides clarity in duties to be performed and avoid overlapping and duplication of work. So such clarity helps in developing and maintaining effective coordination among the department level and functions of management. Okay, fine. So the elements of the delegation, immediately you must answer these 3 things: authority, responsibility, and accountability. These 3 will are called as what? Elements of delegation. Fine. So through delegation, it is possible for us to do what? The task with everyone's coordination. So we know very well in chapter 1, we have discussed what is coordination. 2 or more people together, they will work for a organizational goal to achieve an organizational goal, that we will call it as what? Coordination. So here we went through delegation. The superior and subordinate will have a good relationship, because the superior loyal person is that particular subordinate. Again, the particular subordinate will be very loyal to the superior, and he will work very honestly and perfectly because he is the accountable person. So that gives a good coordination between superior and subordinate. Simultaneously, he has to maintain a good relationship with all the departments, like what are the functional departments we know we have already studied: production, marketing, human resource department, finance department, and research and development department. So like this, these are all the departments we will call as functional departmental structure. So delegation helps us to maintain a good coordinate relationship or cooperation with these departments. Have you all got my point? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Ravi, can you